Hey, Friendo, Steve here.
Hey, Larson.
And welcome back to Going in Raw, the only pro wrestling podcast you need to be listening to. On today's episode, we are talking Saturday night's main event, where CM Punk was crowned your WWE World Heavyweight Champion. Also, Cody Rhodes retained against Drew McIntyre, and we have ourselves a new Women's WWE Champion in Jade Cargill. It was a 4-match card, kind of similar to the normal Saturday night's main events, although less commercials, I guess.
Far less commercials. Yeah, I think there's only 2 commercial breaks per hour.
Used to be 5.
Used to be 5 when it was on NBC, when it was on broadcast television. Now that it's just streaming on Peacock.
Just do whatever they want to do.
Just do what they want, less commercial breaks.
Exactly, yeah.
So that's the major change. Otherwise, yeah.
Yeah, so that was, those are the events of the show. Let's sort of break this down. I think the big thing, obviously, the main event, CM Punk versus Jey Uso. The idea behind this match, I guess, going into it was, could Jey Uso do what needed to be done? That was sort of the parting shot, anyway.
Yeah, that's what Punk kind of that was the thesis. Mm-hmm. But it didn't necessarily play out that way. There never was really an instance during the course of this match where Jey was at any sort of crossroads regarding, can I beat Punk one-on-one without bending any rules? And the inverse was true too. It wasn't like Punk was, because he said I'll do whatever it takes to win. It wasn't like Punk was bending the rules or by any stretch of the imagination either. I guess in terms of doing whatever it takes, they did hit each other's finishers to varying degrees of success.
It seems like that might have been the angle they were taking within the match with that particular story. It's like, they busted out the thing where they do each other's finishers with, interesting results in some cases. Yeah. Punk's spear and Jay's GTS left a little bit to be desired. So yeah, maybe if they would have simplified things a little bit and told more of an obvious story of what do you mean by do you have what it takes? Jay's already won the championship once, so clearly he did what it took at that point.
Yeah.
And so now he's going up against CM Punk, and would he do what it would take? And the answer is no. For whatever that meant, didn't get it done.
And that was the thing. It was one of those situations where it seemed like, all right, last minute, let's what kind of story are we going to tell in this match? Could Jey Uso do what it takes to win? But then that story never really played out during the course of the match. I feel like there could have been more there with Punk saying during his promo, hey, we're friends. But he's also referred to Jey as, like a wannabe Roman, essentially. That's something you can work on during the course of the match. Punk maybe needling Jey when he has the advantage. Not looking like a tribal chief now, are you?
Yeah, some shit talk, some well-placed shit talk.
Yeah, something like that feeds into what Jay's actual story is at this point.
Maybe even if you play up some of the Roman Reigns match tropes, a ref bump in every Roman Reigns match. Yeah. Does Jey Uso capitalize the way Roman Reigns did? Does he have a black hoodie on an attacker show up to do his bidding? I think that there are some ways they could have illustrated that story beat a lot better. On the other hand, I don't know necessarily what their plans are with Jey Uso, but the direction he was going, I'm just listening I'm listening to Roman and I'm listening to myself. Mainly he's listening to Roman. He wants to be Roman.
Yeah.
And having success this early in that story might have negated the rest of the story.
Entirely possible.
And a loss, I think, serves him probably a bit better in that respect, as opposed to a win. Although you could say, hey, a win would maybe give him the validation that he would need to proclaim himself the new Roman. It was, I was thinking about it over the, yesterday, basically. And I was like, what they could do? Jey wins here. Roman wins the Rumble, takes on Jey. Jets, if Roman's going to be gone after not too long and Jay's going to stick around, Jey beating Roman night 1 for the world, retaining that title, that's kind of a big deal. That's That's a story you can tell with all that bloodline shit.
Absolutely.
And then that would leave Punk winning the Chamber in Chicago and then taking on Cody night 2, because what's better than the night 1 main event this year, the night 2 main event next year.
Exactly.
So that's definitely a road they could have gone. Obviously, they're not going to go there. They're sticking with, and this is sort of where I was thinking they would go. The World Heavyweight Championship is the domain, or was the domain, of Rollins, the Vision, and Punk, and that story, and they're sticking with that in some way, shape, or form. I have no idea if the idea ever was going to be before WrestleMania, Punk beats Rollins.
Yeah.
But right now, given that Punk has the title, what do you see the path being for him heading into WrestleMania?
I mean, it's got to be, you would think, you know, there's a bit of news that we could discuss here, and that was Seth was on, gosh, what was he on? He was on something recently where he said his recovery window is looking to be about 6 months. He'd be out of action for 6 months, which puts him roughly within the window to at least make an appearance at WrestleMania. Maybe the plan is for Punk Braun at Mania. Maybe Braun wins the Rumble. Punk walks in as champ. And Seth Rollins returns. You're like, oh, he's going to cost CM Punk this title. No, he ends up costing Braun the title because that's the more immediate threat. That's the revenge he needs to get first before he can move on to finish what he wants to deal with CM Punk.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Something along those lines. Yeah, I was like, this is one of those matches that was very much the result up in the air because, you know, are they going to stick to the plan that they seemingly had laid out, at least short term, in terms of, like, I didn't think Austin Theory was going to get involved in this match like he probably would have if it was Seth and Punk. If it was Seth and Punk tonight, Seth was going to walk out champion still. You know, I didn't feel like Punk beating Seth, culminating their story, is going to happen at a Saturday night's main event.
Absolutely not.
At the least, as a pay-per-view. Probably one of the major 4 pay-per-views.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
But I thought maybe at some point during the match, Braun and Bronson would get involved. That would motivate, you know, War Games with Punk reaching out to Roman. Hey, we got to team up to take out the Vision. So now I don't know what that situation is going to be like. If they completely shelved that idea and gone back to the drawing board to try to reconstitute a War Games match. Again, that's the problem of having a theme pay-per-view on the calendar every year. You know, you could have plans in place where, like, all right, this is going to be the match. Somebody gets hurt, you know, and then you have to significantly alter what you're going to do, as opposed to, all right, we're going to have a War Games match when the feud calls for it.
Yeah, I mean, that's always the thing, and you know, it's funny because they get rid of Hell in a Cell because it should be special, but War Games isn't. You know, it's one of those silly things, and you have so many different gimmick matches you could do with Survivor Series, including brand versus brand, obviously traditional Survivor Series, and then of course War Games. They could mix it up a little bit year to year, but War Games, I guess, is a draw. They probably have metrics to suggest that. And so that's what they stick with. You know, they got a stadium show this year, so yeah. I'm sure that's going to be a big deal. By the way, it was on Good Morning Football that Rollins was on and delivered that news.
Thank you.
So yeah, I don't know, dude. I mean, geez, you got the 4 players. Number one, you got the 4 players at the poker table in the WrestleMania thing.
Mm-hmm.
You think, obviously, now that Brock is back in the fold, he's going to have a high-profile match at WrestleMania. Wouldn't shock me if Gunther beat John Cena on December 13th, and that kind of motivated Gunther versus Brock, perhaps, because Brock beat Cena at WrestleMania.
Or if you do a situation where Brock is on the Vision's War Games team, Vision team loses, Braun blames Brock for the loss or something. I don't know, or vice versa. We do Braun Brock at WrestleMania.
Yeah. It seems unlikely. Like, look, they didn't immediately put the title on Braun, which obviously I think there's been stuff out there that suggests that means they're sticking with whatever Braun plan they had.
Yeah.
Did Meltzer say something like that, I think?
Yeah, someone did. I can't remember.
In any event, it seems like kind of Captain Obvious stuff at this point. It seems like whatever plan they wanted for Braun, they're going to stick to that plan. I don't think that was going to happen at WrestleMania. They were going to give him a high-profile match and a high-profile win. Might even have been, like you said, Brock Lesnar. So there's some situations there that kind of takes Braun out of that equation. Roman Reigns seems like he probably should be wrapped up with bloodline stuff, and Jey Uso heading into WrestleMania. I could see that being a likely situation, title or no title.
Well, the question is if all that happens, then who is Punk going to defend, assuming he has the title till then?
That's
Punk
where I'm
face at
getting
WrestleMania?
I don't know.
I mean, do they think... I know Seth said I'll be out for 6 months. Are they going to roll the dice and try to do Seth returning to face Punk at Mania?
Yeah, but dude, how do you do that if Seth is going to come? Like, if he comes back by then, he's going to get a lot of cheers.
Well, there's simply the logistics of it too. There's a Rumble winner. They pick their champion. There's a Chamber winner.
He'd have to win, and
so he'd have to come back a month in advance. Of his timetable.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know if they want him. I don't know. I mean, dude, honestly, like, Seth Rollins, when he comes back, he should have one target. That's the vision.
Yeah, yeah.
It's Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed. So, yeah, I don't know. I mean, you know, let's go back. Let's look at what do we have going on at, you know, the Royal Rumble is in Saudi Arabia. Do they do Sami Zayn? Dude's always talking about the world title. I feel like that's a night one opener. You know? How about, hey, you want a night two closer? Yeah. LA Knight versus CM Punk.
Yeah.
I don't know if they do that, man. I don't know.
I don't know either.
I don't think there's anything obvious out there.
No, there's not. There is not. Not at all. So, yeah, I don't know where this is going. You know, are they gonna kind of fast track some things, change some other plans, or are they gonna stick to what they had in a macro sense, in terms of doing certain things to try to get specifically Braun over to the point where whatever plan they had, where he's gonna have his coronation, whether that's.
Did they ever do? Dude, forgive me. I know they did it on the house show circuit. Did they ever get around to Punk versus Gunther? They did, didn't they? They did Punk versus
Punk
Gunther.
won the title from Gunther at SummerSlam.
That's right. That's what it was. I knew that's
Seth
what it was.
cashed in on him.
Okay, Punk versus Gunther at Mania. He beats Cena. He goes on. If you say Brock versus Braun, then Gunther's going to need something to do. That's a killer night one opener.
You're just looking for your night one opener, huh?
Honestly, I just love that. Yeah, we need that night one opener, man.
You need CM Punk in that. He's like, Phil, you got your main event. Well, it's night one. How about night one opener this year?
Nah, do you think...
They say if you're not main eventing, you should be opening the show.
CM Punk and Gunther, that can close a night one. That can close a night one. I could see that. Come on, you're a Gunther guy. He's a main event guy now.
Oh, yeah. Gunther's one of my favorites. Absolutely. Yeah, I wouldn't be upset with Gunther main eventing night one of WrestleMania.
All right. I mean, I kind of feel like Gunther's in that position, right? Isn't he in that position?
Where he could justifiably main event night one?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Yeah. Well, there you go. There's problem solved.
What, Phil's going to beat Gunther again?
Did they fight already? Bro, come on, man. You know me. My memory's mush. So, yeah, I don't know. Hey, how about this? Did they ever do Drew versus CM Punk? We have a sponsor for the show today, Larson.
Do.
It might be best to just move on to that.
Let's move on. Let's do that. Oh, goodness. This episode of Going in Raw is sponsored by BetterHelp. You know, Steve, if I'm being honest with myself, I'm not the best when it comes to keeping in touch with people. And I don't know why I have such a tough time doing it, but I know that when I do reconnect, I generally ask myself, why didn't I do this sooner?
You just got to do it, man. You just got to reach out to them. But I get it. Sometimes it can feel like a bit of a challenge to get in touch with someone you haven't spoken to in a while, and reaching out for therapy can feel difficult too. But it's worth it.
Yep, I can confirm. It is worth it. It was tough for me to come to the conclusion that I needed to go to therapy when I was dealing with severe anxiety about 20 years ago. But once I did, I was able to find a therapist who helped me learn the tools I needed to better cope with my anxiety.
With over 30,000 therapists, BetterHelp is one of the world's largest online therapy platforms, and they're making therapy far more convenient. BetterHelp does the initial matching work for you so you can focus on your therapy goals. All you have to do to get started is fill out a short questionnaire to identify your needs and preferences, and BetterHelp's 12-plus years of experience in industry-leading match fulfillment rate means they typically get it right the first time. But if you aren't happy with your initial match, you can switch therapists at any time from their tailored recommendations.
This month, don't wait to reach out. Whether you're checking in on a friend or reaching out to a therapist yourself, BetterHelp makes it easy to take that first step. Our listeners get 10% off their first month at betterhelp.com/raw. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/raw.
All right. We also had Cody Rhodes versus Drew McIntyre. That opened the show. Of course, they did their big Smackdown contract signing thing.
Gosh, that was a long segment.
It was pretty long, yeah. Drew McIntyre not satisfied with just the contract. Tried to pull a fast one on all this, and Cody was like, fine, let's do it. And so Drew had it so that Cody, if he got disqualified or counted out, he would lose the title to Drew McIntyre.
Yeah.
And he won, and Cody ended up getting the win here because Drew McIntyre, and again, this is a simple story they told. Drew tried for the count out, and he tried to get Cody DQ'd. And it ended up, as it always does with Drew McIntyre, instead of just trying to fucking wrestle a match.
I know.
He ended up screwing himself over because he got there was a ref bump, and Cody and the title had just sort of fallen where it fell in the ring, on the mat, and Cody ended up hitting Drew with a DDT followed by a single crossroads.
Well, it wasn't just any DDT. It was a DDT that happened to happen on the title.
Oh, sorry. I meant to mention that it was on the title.
As Drew was picking it up, yeah.
Yeah, it was on the floor there.
Yeah, not a bad match, I guess. With maybe the exception of the Intercontinental title match, I feel like that was the only match where they allowed people to, like, really cook, and really go out there and put on a damn entertaining wrestling match.
Yeah.
Like this one, the pace was kind of meh. That was kind of the thing with the opening match, the main event. The pace of those matches and the level of urgency in those matches, I didn't feel like we're up to par considering the stakes on the line.
It felt very Saturday night's main event, and not
it
really.
It did. It felt like we're going to go through
event.
the motions because we have to do this match tonight.
Right. Yeah. It did.
And so especially the main event where you have this vacant title, and CM Punk says to Jay, "Are you willing to do whatever it takes to win the title? I know I am." And they just kind of like plod through it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But this match was better than that one, at least.
Yeah, this one was also shorter by just a few minutes. It was 18 minutes and 45 seconds.
Yeah.
But yeah, the first half of it, first 60, 70% of it was kind of just standard stuff. Like, again, they were trying to tell that story, but, it was a bit on the plotting side.
Sometimes I get it. You want to build to your major story beats, and as it relates to this match, it's Drew trying to take advantage of the stipulation that he had put into the contract. But at the same time, when Drew does that because he thinks it gives him an advantage, like, push the issue immediately. Try to take advantage of it immediately.
Yeah.
That brings, at least at first, then you can kind of settle down into, all right, we're going to wrestle, and then we'll pick it back up later.
Mm-hmm.
But if you really push that measure of urgency immediately, that gets the viewer to the match far more readily than, all right, lock it up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So in that sense, it was kind of disappointing. They didn't really push as much as they maybe could have with the whole stipulation, but it was all right. It was fine.
Yeah. If Drew's trying to get Cody DQ'd immediately by really trying to push his buttons, that it could have that itself could have built that beginning of the match a lot more effectively.
Like on SmackDown, he makes reference to not being with his family on Halloween to go trick or treating with his kids, and that sets Cody off. Like during the match, hey Cody, how was your Halloween?
He gets like Sora 2 to do some AI video of like Drew trick or treating with his kids.
Sure, I guess. I don't know.
Something like that. And then they just sort of fall off a roof or something. A lot of Sora videos of people falling off roofs. I don't know what's real or fake anymore, bro. I'll be honest with you.
You can pretty much tell when there's any sort of falling in those videos. It's a pretty easy tell that that's AI.
I mean, sometimes. Sometimes I'm like, oh, these guys are they're like, it's backyard wrestling and they're on this roof or whatever. And I'm like, and then they fall. I'm like, oh, that must have been AI.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's things like video quality, stuff like that is a tell that if it's backyard wrestling from like 2005, you'd be able to tell.
Dude, the video quality, like they match it so well these days. They match it so. I'll send you some. It's wild. Anyways,
interesting. So
after that match, Aldis is checking on Tiffany backstage. He's like, "Oh, are you sure you want to with your bum damn gummy leg?" And she's like,
I want to defend the title. I'm ready for this fight.
So Tiffany Stratton takes.
Au
on
contraire, Tiffany, you were not ready for this fight
because you got your ass whooped in like 5 minutes.
Yeah, it was super quick.
Jade targeted the knee, of course. Took her to the outside, into the steps. Tiffany was able to sidestep when Jade tried to do like a big pump kick to the steps, and instead Jade just sort of went to the steps. But then Tiffany hits a swanton, gets 2 with that. But then Jade completely takes over. Hits like this reverse rack bomb type thing, gets 2 with that.
Yeah, it was a cool move.
It was a cool move. Hits a fall-away slam, a third, gets a 2 with that. Then she just goes on a fucking power. She just starts spamming the power bomb right there. Gets a 3 power bombs, and then hits Jaded for the win. Took about 5+ minutes to get that WWE Women's Championship. I'm glad they actually pulled the trigger on this, man, because Jade's got some good momentum from her heel turn.
Yep.
And, fresh slate for her. The Tiffany thing, it was really running on fumes at this point. I mean, even on Smackdown when, like, Tiffany, because they did, like, a really limp promo thing on Smackdown. Tiffany comes out, stop playing my music. And, like, the crowd's really not even responding that much to her.
No.
And so Jade gets the win here. What do you expect next for Jade now that she's new bad guy and new champion?
She'll have some title defenses. Eventually, Bianca will return, and they'll set up a program with them.
Should be a Mania thing, right?
Yeah, should be.
Probably.
Should be.
Makes
If they're not
sense.
doing Bianca Rhea, then it should be Bianca Jade. Yeah.
Man,
Absolutely.
can confirm no Triple H in the house because I don't see any pointing pictures.
Next up for the Intercontinental title, Dom Mysterio defending against Penta and Rusev. Match of the night.
Yeah, this is a lot of fun.
It was a lot of fun. Fairly often, 2 of the 3 competitors would pair off and do a sequence for a stretch. The finishing stretch was really, really good, though. So Penta's looking for a destroyer on Rusev. Rusev counters with Alabama Slam. He looks for a Machka kick. Penta evades, hits a Penta driver, gets a 2. Penta leaps off the top, but that's when Rusev hits the Machka kick. Locks in the accolade, and Penta's not tapping, and yet the bell's ringing.
Mm-hmm.
And so Rusev celebrating, thinking he won. And Danilo, the ref, like, no, I didn't call for the bell. He didn't tap.
Didn't do anything.
And so we cut over to Dom in the timekeeper area, and he's got that hammer. He was the one ringing the bell. So Rusev
Dom
goes
loves
down.
hammer.
He dumps Dom over the barricade, pushes him in the ring post, slides him in the ring. Dom slides out the opposite side trying to escape, but Rusev follows. So then Dom pushes Rusev into the ring steps, gets back in the ring, he reaches for the hammer. Well, Penta's there, he picks it up. He takes a swing at Dom. Dom moves, Rusev gets nailed with it. Just absolutely nailed with it. So Dom throws Penta out of the ring, hits Rusev with a frog splash to get the win.
Very, very creative finish. Very clever. Dom is great. Surprised that they had Rusev take that pin.
I was too. I thought
because you're kind of like
he's lost. He took 2 pins to Dom already.
You got Dom. You got Penta. You got Rusev. They're kind of like on a similar, but Rusev seems like he's booked a bit stronger just in general. But in this case, I mean, it took a hammer to the head and a splash, but still, he ate the pin here.
Yeah.
So Dom gets away with that. We also had Cena did the setting up the Cena's last match, and so we got a teaser for an interview Cena did with Tom Rinaldi, and he's like basically saying, "I'm never gonna wrestle again. My skills don't match the product." And so, anyways, then we go to a video package where Cena teases that his final opponent on December 13th is going to be the winner of a 16-man tournament that starts a week from Monday on Raw. and it's going to feature people from Raw, SmackDown, NXT, maybe AEW, because he says people who don't even go here, people who don't even work here.
Yeah.
Of course, he means friendly promotions like TNA, and of course, one that's actually, it is owned by WWE, AAA.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Hey, maybe Cope will show up. Probably not.
Yeah, dude. Cope, Jericho, you know, Hangman Adam Page.
Why not?
You know, why not?
Kenny Omega. Tanahashi.
Tanahashi, yeah, Evil. All of House of Torture.
Yes. John Cena's final match taking on the entirety of Double Sonata.
Double Sonata is right.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
He's
it
like,
needs to be Double Sonata.
think I'm seeing double. Yeah, Double Sonata.
He's like, I say you can't see me, but I'm seeing double.
He's
Which
like,
one is the real Sonata?
is that a mask? It's so real.
It's so real.
Anyways. So, yeah.
Yeah, Double Sonata is the answer. And then we had our main event. Kind of a slow, plodding match.
Match of 2025, for sure.
Worst match of 2025, you said?
I know it's going to be on your list.
Oh, I couldn't stand this match. And, and part of it, Jay botched a simple neck breaker pretty early on.
You're going to have to address the Larson hates CM Punk allegations, because right now you're not beating those allegations, Larson.
I think I've been plenty clear. I don't hate CM Punk. I just don't find what he's doing terribly interesting, and this match did not change that.
That's his official statement, ladies and gentlemen.
That is my official statement. It was, again, there is a general lack of urgency throughout this match, considering there is a world championship on the line.
Well, dude, one guy is like our age, and the other guy isn't that far off, and he had like a double entrance tonight. You know, you got to give these guys a little bit of leeway.
What do they pay to do, Steve?
They're paid to bring banger matches. That's what they're
exactly, and this was definitely not that. So they both hit each other with their finishers early. Punk hits a GTS, and Jay rolls out of the ring. Shortly thereafter, Jay hits a spear and a splash. Punk kicks out. So we'll fast forward a bit when things maybe got kind of interesting. So we'll do this. So Jay hits Punk with a super kick, which sends Punk out to the floor. Jay falls with a suicide dive. So then Punk rolls into the ring and then rolls right back out just to break the ref's count.
Yep.
So Jay spears Punk through the barricade. He puts Punk back in the ring looking for a splash. Punk gets his knees up, hits a GTS, but Jay kicks out. So Punk's looking for a pile driver. Jay blocks it. He hits a GTS. Punk then counters with one of the absolute worst looking spears I have ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
Jay, understandably, kicks out. So Punk hits another GTS. Jay collapses. He rebounds off the ropes, collapses onto Punk's shoulder. Punk's looking for the second GTS. Instead, Jay escapes, locks on a sleeper. Well, Punk escapes that, locks on an Anaconda Vice. Jay gets to the bottom rope. So after the break, Punk pulls Jay back towards the middle of the ring looking for another Anaconda Vice. Jay rolls him up, gets a 2 there. So Punk turns the ref, and I think someone in the chat says, he's probably asking if that was a 2 or a 3. So Jay hits him with 2 super kicks, looks for a spear, but instead he just runs into a knee from Punk. GTS, rebound, GTS to get the win.
I loaded up the Twitter just now just to see what the reactions are and everything. And like the first thing I see is a video of CM Punk trying to give the neck breaker, the rude awakening to Jey Uso, and them having to do it again because
Jay lands on his face. Yeah, first time.
And the caption's just, "Oh brother."
Yeah.
So yeah,
not a stellar match by any stretch of the imagination. Not a high star rating. We do our star ratings tomorrow. Let me tell you what.
Yeah, you guys got to stay tuned and find out what mine. I kind of want to guess what your star rating is on the video tomorrow.
Here, guess now, because I already got it written down. You can guess now.
No, I'm going to save that for tomorrow. We got to give people a reason to tune in. Find out what.
I'm not going to say what it is.
I know. No. All that'll happen tomorrow. So yeah.
So that was Saturday night's main event, such as was. It was a really. I mean, I did appreciate there wasn't as many commercial breaks. And it was a breezy 2-hour show, even if the overall match quality wasn't the highest.
It was breezy. That was nice. And yeah, I was gonna say they let these matches. The Jade Tiffany match didn't need to be more than 5 minutes because of the story they told. I just hope that doesn't become, like I don't know what route they're gonna go with Jade Cargill as champion in terms of her matches.
Yeah,
but you don't want them all to be 5-minute matches.
No.
So, yeah.
At a certain point, her as a character needs to be pushed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and obviously Tiffany walking into this match with the knee injury was an obvious target for Jade, and the story was pretty clear. All right, Tiffany's going to go in this match less than 100%, and therefore is going to be invariably squashed because of it,
Yeah. Real quick, before we get into our SmackDown recap, the November Predictions Challenge has officially begun. Right now, Randy Suarez is in the lead with 25 points, followed closely by Hayden Riley with 24. Is this like a public leaderboard or no? We have a...
there was a public leaderboard that Cody put in chat during the stream.
Oh, great! I can grab that then. I will post that to both places, to the Patreon and the channel memberships by the end of the night. So I'll be sure to do that. It continues on into November 22nd, Full Gear, and then of course 29th, the Survivor Series. So more Predictions Challenge and a lot of matches left and a lot of prop bets left. Yeah. So there's still plenty of time for you guys to get in on the November Predictions Challenge, and you can do that by clicking on the patreon.com/Steven Larson, getting the Friendo Club set up there, or clicking join right here at youtube.com/Steve and Larson. You also get access to our bonus episodes. We just did a bonus episode the other day. It's over an hour long. Talk about a lot of things, including the main topic, which is if we decided to have a midlife, mid-career, I'm not going to say crisis,
pivot
and pivot away from wrestling and into something else, what would that something else be? What topics would we possibly cover? It's a fun conversation, and yeah, it's part of our slate of bonus episodes. We'll have another one this month in November, so you can check that out, and also the question threads for the recap episodes.
Correct. We can do a breezy SmackDown recap since so much of it related to Saturday night's main event. We alluded to the contract signing that main evented SmackDown on Friday night. Preceding that, there was a couple segments. There was a bit backstage. It'll pertain to this contract signing, but give me a moment here. Where Sami Zayn's backstage, talking to Aldis, says, hey, I'll have Motor City Machine Guns back tonight if they need it, because they have a match against the MVT. Motor City Machine Guns do. And so Aldis says, I appreciate that. You're not cleared. I'm asking you to sit this one out. So Sami, he says, all right, fine. Cody steps in. He and Sami hug. Cody says, I'm proud of you. You should be proud of you for what you did with the U.S. Open Challenge. Sami says, once I'm done with everything, the MFTs and stuff, better days ahead. And he looks at the title on Cody's shoulder when he says that. And he says, good luck against Drew. So he leaves. So Aldis says to Cody two things. I need to ask you if you had anything to do with Jacob. Cody's like, not at all. I like Jacob. He's great. He's awesome. You know what I mean? I did nothing. And then Aldis says, all right, that's all I need to hear. Innocent. So then he says, also, we got this contract signing. Everything's fine with it. And Cody says, I'm fine with it. You don't have to show it to me. You got to show it to Drew. So later on, Aldis is backstage. He asks Drew
hold on. Let's pause really quick here. Aldis, now you can tell this is a detective doing his due diligence. Cody crossed off the list. Innocent. Because why? Cody said so. Who killed Jacob Fatu?
You know what? It'd be an interesting outcome to all this, given the nature of Jacob Fatu's injuries. Teeth. A new Isaac Yankem, DDS.
New Isaac Yankem. What if it's Britt Baker?
Hey.
Right?
There we go.
Yeah. Who's used the mandible claw since then?
Bray did. Bray used it.
Oh, it was Bray. That's right. That's
Bray
who
used
it was.
it.
So I don't know. This is going to be an ongoing thing, though. He's going to be going around asking who killed Jacob Fatu.
Questioning everybody, as he should.
Sami Zayn, I mean, that dude could win the Royal Rumble.
Yeah. Without a doubt. You could face Cody at WrestleMania.
Solid night 2 opener right there.
Yeah, both world titles opening their respective nights, huh?
Yeah, man, exactly.
So then Aldis goes up to Drew backstage, asks if the contract is good, and Drew says, no issues, really. You worried I'm going to go out there and say something I shouldn't? And Aldis is like, yeah, kind of. And Drew says, buddy, you have a stressful job. You got to learn to relax. I'll see you out there. So in the main event segment, Aldis introduces it and says, all right, let's sign it. They're both kind of hesitant at first, and eventually Drew just says, I ain't signing that. So Cody goes and signs it, and Drew says, the deck is stacked against me in this contract because if I get DQ'd or counted out, Cody wins. If Cody gets DQ'd or counted out, Cody wins. And so I'm not signing it. So Aldis says, all right, there's a whole locker room full of people that are willing to take this match if you're not going to sign what is a standard, typical WWE Championship contract. So sign it. And Drew just says, all right, go find one of them to do it. So he's about to leave.
Yeah. He calls
Cody's
his bluff.
Yeah. And so Cody stops him. It's like, no, we need to finish this. And so I'll give you what you want. And it was settled. If I get DQ'd, if I get counted out, then you win the title. That's what you want, right, Drew McIntyre? Drew says yes, and Aldis is all super hesitant about it. And Cody's like, just fucking do it, Nick Aldis.
Yeah.
And eventually he does.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there you go. Yeah. He also does some stuff about, I'm the real American dream. I got my citizenship here. So, yeah, there's that. And then like Cody gets hit with a Claymore and gets put through a table. He sort of takes a shot for Aldis because Aldis is in the line of a Claymore and Cody pushes him and then gets put through the table. So as soon as I saw that on the .com, because I watched SmackDown like just while before the Saturday night's main event today, I was sitting at my desk putting all the shit together for the stream. Yeah. And I watched it then. I was like, oh. But then last night I got on the .com to see what was going on. Oh, Drew stands tall.
Picks up the title, no less.
And even in the intros tonight on the Saturday night's main event, he's all rubbing the title with his hands.
That was weird.
That was weird.
That was strange.
Yeah.
So then we mentioned that there was that segment on the Open Smackdown with Tiffany where she opens the show, tells the truck to cut her music, says she's got an issue with Jade. Not wait until tomorrow. I want you here right now. Aldis says, think this through. You are cleared as tolerated.
What the fuck does that mean?
I don't know. No physical contact before your match. I don't want to jeopardize the match at Saturday night's main event. And Tiffany says, you think I care about what the doctors say? Jade, get out here. So Jade's music plays. She makes her way out. And Jade's like, I'm not going to do anything. That doesn't serve me. I'm ready to win that belt tomorrow, and taffy time is up. So she doesn't want to jeopardize the match.
Yeah.
So then Tiffany rushes out but gets held back by Russ, I think, holds the belt up. So later on, we're backstage with Aldis and Tiffany, and Kiana James comes up and says, you should have accepted our offer, and it looks like Tiffy time is coming to an end. And Tiffany says, keep talking, and I'll find the Tiffy time to beat your ass. Mm-hmm. So Julia says, you're not going to be talking like that tomorrow. You're not going to be talking at all. So Chelsea Green steps in and says, PSA, we're 9 days away. And Aldis is like, 9 days away from what? And it would have been 1 year, 9 days away from 1 year Chelsea winning that title. So she would have been champion for a whole year. She said, Julia ruined the most historic WWE run as your longest reigning U.S. champion. Me without a title, this is getting scary. And not in a cute Halloween way. I want a match. She wants a rematch. She wants a match for the U.S. title. And Aldis says, the title's been around for what, a year? That's not how it works. And Julia says, if she thinks she's better, she could prove it. And they set the match for next week.
Yeah.
So then Chelsea turns around and Nikki Cross is there.
She's being spooky.
Yeah, scares Chelsea and Alba Fire.
That is correct. We had Alexa Bliss taking on Nia Jax. We had a little backstage interview. It's funny because the on-screen chemistry in terms of like their back and forth is a lot crisper now. Mm-hmm. It was obvious they were, they had good chemistry, but sometimes that doesn't translate to the actual performance.
Yeah.
So anyways, they're backstage. Kathy's interviewing him, asking about Asuka Kairi saying, it's like, if they have a problem, they can come find us. Charlotte's like, everybody wants what we have because it works. I don't let people in often, but I let Lexi in, and I think her life is better because of it. She says, Nia lives in fear, and that's why she has no friends. Classic Gemini behavior. She's on like the astrology
kick. Yeah.
And Alexa's like, yeah, Nia's lived in bitterness for years, and I'll remind her tonight why I outgrew her. And then Charlotte says, see, classic Leo behavior. And then Alexa Bliss got the win over Nia Jax. There are some cool throwbacks to like previous matches of theirs. She ended up getting the win. So Charlotte gets on the apron to distract Nia, and Bliss kicks her legs out, stacks her up for a quick pin there.
Yeah,
so
well,
Charlotte helping her cheat a little bit.
Yeah, Nia looking for the Annihilator, yeah.
Yeah.
Ilya, of course, had U.S. Open Challenge. That was preceded by a video package of him detailing his comeback from that knee injury. A bunch of like very dramatically lit shots of him doing workouts and such.
Some sort of cool pop punk song playing during this thing. I thought it was pretty. I was like, oh my God, you guys spent a little bit of money on whatever the fuck this is.
Yeah.
Oh, that was pretty cool. Oh, every man. And then some shit. I don't know what he said.
Yeah, I don't know.
Every man has. Ooh. I can get through this. There is, it's all just a bunch of that stuff.
Yeah, in a lot of respects, if they're doing the U.S. Open Challenge thing, he's defending that title every week. Like they did with Darby when he had the TBS title. Was eventually just got so beaten down, beat up, that Rusev was able to, or Miro was able to beat him. Ilya is kind of the perfect guy for that because he's I love getting my ass kicked,
Yeah, they should do that, but the bizarre thing is he never gets tired.
He gets more powerful.
Yeah. He's at a certain point, he's like, Aldous, I would like 3 matches tonight. And it's like 3 matches throughout the one episode of Smackdown.
It's the entirety of the episode.
Right. And then in the last match, it's just like a fucking squash match against Brock Lesnar. Like I get more powerful all the time.
Yeah, it basically turns to the growth hormone.
Yeah, exactly. And there's like, is your tattoo glowing? What is happening right now? Oh, I've got so much radiation in me.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
So he's in the ring. Nathan Frazier answers the challenge initially, and then Tommaso Ciampa comes out and just power walks right past him. He goes, no, you can't seriously think about giving this nerd a shot at that title. So they start arguing.
They start bitching. I'm going to do this. Ilya says, gentlemen, the open challenge is for every competitor. To be fair, Nathan was the first. When it comes down to the United States title, there is no reward for jackasses. Talking about Ciampa.
Yeah.
And so Ciampa leaves for a bit, and we get a fucking banger-ass match between Ilya Dragunov and Nathan Frazier. Oh, my God. That fucking, the Avalanche German suplex where he got spiked, Frazier got fucking spiked on his head. Jesus.
Yeah, that was rough. That was rough. But he kicks out of that. So then it takes a power bomb and then an H-bomb from Ilya to get the win. Fantastic bout, though. Go everybody check it out. Ilya's celebrating, helps Frazier up off the mat and raises his arm, and then Ciampa attacks Frazier. We go to commercial break. Once we come back, we get a recap of a huge brawl that breaks out between DIY and Fraxium and Ilya. We go backstage. That brawl is still going on.
Yeah.
And eventually, Ilya separates everybody and yells at him. And then as that all clears out, Tama Tonga's there. He's got that U.S. title. He just does the yeah. Think at him and it leaves.
Yeah. Man, how scared were you during Carmelo Hayes versus Kit Wilson and Miz shows up and posts Carmelo? Because I was like, God damn it, dude, they're going to do this. But they didn't do it.
They didn't do it. Melo got the win.
Kit did his weird top rope elbow thing, and then Melo kicked out of it.
Mm-hmm.
And then so he gets the win after hitting the whatever on the
first 48. Yeah, the code breaker.
Kit Wilson. And then right afterwards, Miz comes in, hits a skull-crushing finale, says, it's not over until I say it's over.
Why is Miz talking like Ilya?
I don't know. It was weird to me, too.
That's weird. Anyways, move on to this next thing, because this is a great story and a really exciting development, I feel like, because we got MFTs feuding with Motor City Machine Guns. Thank you. It was all set up with a comedy segment with Motor City Machine Guns backstage with R-Truth. He's dressed as Santa. He hands him some candy. Says, Merry Christmas. Brush your teeth after that. And so Alex Shelley, of course, of Motor City Machine Guns, says, Ron, this is your costume, right? And then Chris Sabin, also of Motor City Machine Guns, says, you're dressed as Kris Kringle for Halloween? And R-Truth says to Motor City Machine Guns, y'all think it's Halloween? Wrong month. Merry Christmas. So he leaves. So then Solo walks up to Motor City Machine Gun and says, Merry Christmas. What? What are you two bums looking at?
That was funny.
Says, what I saw was two babies taking candy from a stranger. I hear you were talking smack last week. So Chris Sabin, again, of Motor City Machine Guns, reminds them they beat MFTs for the tag titles. And Solo said, Solo was great during this.
He was really good. Yeah.
He was great. He says, yeah, okay, Harry Potter. We're first in line for those titles. So Sabin, again, Motor City Machine Gun, says, if I was Harry Potter, I'd say a spell to shut your ass up. But since I'm not, and seeing you're next in line, how about we find out and fight and see what happens. So Solo says, all right, let me talk to Mr. Aldous, and we will show you how much we've changed in a year. So, later on, MFTs are walking backstage and bump into Ray Phoenix. And Solo says, what the hell you want? You want to fight? And Ray Phoenix says, no, I don't want to fight. So he turns and leaves. And Solo says, good. Go trick-or-treating or something, man. So then Ray steps back in. Now he's standing on a road case and points to Tala Tonga and says, I want to fight you. Last week you put your hands on me, and now I want a piece of you. And Solo laughs at him. Says, fine. Can I have a match next week? Phoenix says, good. And slaps the shit out of Tala. Mm-hmm. And Tala gets mad, and Solo's like, no, don't worry about it. Yeah. Don't worry. You're gonna get the win next week, Tala Tonga.
Yeah, you're good. You're good.
But then we had a fun match between MFTs as Tama Tonga and JC Mateo against, say it with me, Steve,
Motor City
Machine Guns.
All right.
But MFT got their win back over Motor City Machine Guns. Tama Tonga hits Shelley with the hidden blade to get the win.
There
so after the match, the Motor City Machine Guns are beating down Motor City Machine Guns. Ray Phoenix.
Hold on, shut up. What? You just said the Motor City Machine Guns are beating down the Motor City Machine Guns. Now you're just shoehorning it in there.
I should have done it twice then.
Now you're just shoehorning it in there to make it even last longer.
Don't interrupt. So then Ray Phoenix makes the save for Motor City Machine Guns. He hits a missile drop kick on Tala Tonga. Eats a boot. Then Nakamura comes out to make the save for Ray Phoenix and Motor City Machine Guns. And then Nakamura takes out JC Mateo, avoids a boot, but then he eats the choke slam from Tala. So MFT stand tall over Ray Phoenix, Nakamura, and, of course, Motor City Machine Guns. We know
exactly who you just said who came in. We did not need to repeat that. I got good news for everybody. Damian Priest isn't done with Aleister Black. We had a Priest promo. Aleister Black, I should hate you, but I don't. I don't hate all your sneak attacks or you used with your wife. I thought he said, I don't hate all your sneak attacks or your used wife. Oh my God. Or that you used your wife. I don't even hate that you set my face on fire. Hold on a second.
I'd have a major bone to pick if that happened.
I would have a huge problem. He said, for some reason, my existence is personal to you. Guess what? You win. It's personal to me now. And then he says, it's coming. You won't know when or how, but you know why. When I finally get my hands on you, not even the devil himself will stop me. You spread your poison. Now you'll feel my venom when my punishment comes on you. Happy Halloween.
Yeah. And kind of felt like their feud should have ended when Aleister got the win, right?
When he got his face lit on fire. I'd be like, I'm not fucking with that guy anymore.
Yeah, I mean, that's
His little tiny wife is there, and then on top of that, he lit my face on fire. Nope.
Yeah. Nope.
I'm going to go take on Kit Wilson. Easy win for punishment.
Oh, my goodness. Oh, goodness.
Oh, wow. Anyways, I did not put question threads up because it's Saturday, and I'm going to go get my load on. So
there you go.
That's going to do it for the show. Hey, we'll be back. We got a special Monday night after Raw review. So be sure to hit that subscribe button and the notify bell.
Saturday night main event Fallout edition of Raw.
Yeah, well, we get to see Phil with that shiny new title of his, and hopefully they'll make it a good one. So
hopefully.
That's gonna do it for the show today, everybody. Thanks so much for or at least maybe there'll be some fucking news or something.
Yeah, some developments in some manner. It'd be great.
Something happening.
Yeah.
Anyways, that's gonna do it. Till next time, we'll see you guys around.
Goodbye.